at the end of the day, because the number one thing you want to learn from your education is how to think, right? How to solve problems. After that, everything else is useful. It's good. It was good to have contacts. It was good to have the social interaction of other intense thinkers. And yes, I think that's probably the second most valuable thing I got at MIT. But you know, I will say that in the 10 years after I left MIT, I worked 3,500 hours a year, 70 hours a week, 50 weeks a year, dealing with problems never before encountered. And I didn't think it was particularly difficult because it was so difficult getting through those 4 years at MIT where I was working 80 to 90 hours a week, intellectually butting heads with the smartest professors, the smartest students, and trying to solve fundamental problems. I kind of felt like it hardened me intellectually to cope in the real world. And so I appreciate the fact that they gave me that kind of tough love. They didn't give us a textbook with 37 questions with the answers in the back of the book and let us memorize the answers, take the test, and give us a 95%.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I take a little bit of a takeaway. You get smart people together that are curious, maybe curious being the key word there. They're actually not overloaded on that first day with too much information and afraid of what others may think if they speak their opinion and they're wrong. Unfortunately, that childlike wonder sometimes tends to go away from us as we age. It's kind of interrelated, how do you build systems that embrace volatility? I sound like Nassim Taleb now, and are meant to survive and improve with time.
I think it starts just with an appreciation of the statistical nature of things and the value of volatility and stressors to the health of the system. So I spent a lot of time studying natural cycles. One part of MIT is the School of System Dynamics, and we studied predator-prey dynamics in nonlinear systems. And that's an example where I remove all the wolves from a system, all the deer, explode, they destroy the ecosystem, they reroute the rivers, create erosion, and then deer overpopulate. And when you study those kind of systems, you realize that you need to have a balance between the predator and the prey, and the wolves actually keep the deer at bay, and that keeps the ecosystem stable, and that's good for the vegetation, and that's good for the ecology. And you can model that mathematically. That's what nonlinear systems are. It's all about modeling feedback. And so if you develop an appreciation of nonlinear feedback and equilibrium, and you see that applied in nature, then you see it pop up in immunology, and then you see that it's the basis of all control systems and control engineering. Nothing flies without servo mechanisms, and you have to design stable systems that will return to a stable point when perturbed. If you get that, and you see all the thousands of examples in engineering and in nature, then if you're designing a product or designing a company, you can apply those principles. And also, it makes you comfortable. The basic that you take from a lot of Taleb's books is don't run from pain, right? Pain is information. It's a stressor just like anything else. And so if you want a robust system, you need to embrace volatility, embrace pain, and react to it, and trend toward an equilibrium, and not run from it.
And Michael, how old were you when you founded MicroStrategy?
24. I was 2 years out of MIT.